Welcome to Cord Cutting today for April 15th, 2019. This is the show where I give you a quick look at some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now. If you want to learn more about these stories, in the show notes down below I'll put a link to each story so you can read about them for yourself and come up with your own opinions. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us by letting YouTube know you like what we're doing, and hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of cable TV. Well, it's tax day here in the United States. Hopefully you did your taxes. Hopefully you didn't owe anything. If you did and it's taxing you a little bit, we got some great cord cutting deals today. There was a lot of deals that popped up over the weekend that I want to run down here, and we got some great other news stories. But let's dive into the deals first. Amazon is having a tax day sale. They have a ton of Amazon Fire TVs on sale, starting at $29.99 for the HD stick, $39.99 for the 4K stick. If you have the money, I would spend the extra $10 and get the 4K stick. Huge improvement on speed, huge performance on Wi-Fi, and just overall, it's a much better streaming player. Even if you don't have a 4K TV, it will play in HD for you. So I'll put a link to that in the show notes. The Fire TV Cube is also on sale if you're looking to get that. If you're looking for a DVD or DVR, for your antenna, you may want to consider getting a TiVo Bolt. Right now, they're giving away a TiVo Bolt if you agree to a 2-year service contract of $14.95 a month. That's a great deal. Works out about $358, which gives you the TiVo Bolt and 2 years worth of service for that price. Nice thing about it is you don't have to fork over the $100 or $200 up front for a DVR. You can break that cost out over 2 years. Once the 2 years is over, you, from our understanding, own the DVD or DVR. TiVo is, of course, one of the flagship, best known DVRs out there. They make a very good DVR. Traditionally, one of the main complaints about it has been it's very expensive. Well, this is a much higher monthly cost than a Tableau or even the standard TiVo price, but you don't have to fork over a bunch of money up front. So if you can, you're looking at getting one, you've been thinking about it, but that upfront cost of having to buy the DVR and then pay a service fee after that has been blocking you. Maybe getting a TiVo right now, maybe one to check out. Now, the next deal of the day, Philo's 1 month offer is back. So a couple weeks ago, Philo offered a 1 month free trial. You had to get it through Groupon. Well, that offer expired. Got a lot of emails. Oh, I missed it. Is it going to ever come back? Well, good news. Philo has brought back their 1 month free trial, but you have to get it through a specific link. When I'm recording this, when I checked, going to philo.com did not give you that link. It still gave you the standard free trial. If you want the extended 1 month free trial, in the links down below, I'll put a link to our story that has where you can go get a free month of Philo and try it out. And honestly, if you're not sports and you're fine with your other news sources, Philo does have Cheddar and a few others, but it doesn't have like CNN or Fox News or MSNBC. But it has a lot of really good programming. The Hallmark Channel content, AMC, Viacom, Discovery program, Scripps content. If you want a month of just a ton of content with maybe you're a football fan, maybe you're a basketball fan with that coming to an end, check out that Philo deal. And as I always say, feel free to rotate services. Sling TV had a great deal. Maybe try out Philo this month. Rotate your services. Don't be afraid to add and drop and try out different things out there. And the last deal, like I told you, there was a lot of great deals for tax day today. YouTube TV is offering an extended 14-day free trial. Now, YouTube has a history of upping and downing their free trial. At one point, I think it was as high as 30 days. At one point, it was as low as 5 days for a free trial. Right now, it's back up to 14 days for a limited time. Now, YouTube TV doesn't advertise it when you go to their website. You actually have to start the sign-up process, and you have to be a new YouTube subscriber. You can't have been there previously to take advantage of this 14-day free trial. Maybe they're trying to get some people signed up after the price hike last week. I don't know, but they are offering a 14-day free trial. No word on if this is the permanent price, if this is temporary. YouTube TV just has this habit of adjusting the free trials. PlayStation View does that sometimes too. Not usual for them to. They were at 7 days, then they went down to 5 days. It's not usual to see a 14-day free trial of PlayStation View, but not nearly as often as YouTube TV does it. So try it out. Let me know. And if you were a YouTube TV subscriber before, are they offering that free trial to you? According to our readers, when I looked at an account where I tried it before, it didn't give it to me. And when I looked at it from an account where I never used YouTube TV before, it gave me the 14-day free trial. So let me know if your experience is different. I'd love to hear from you. All right, let's dive into the news. DIRECTV now is making some changes to their grandfathered Live a Little plan. This is the basic bottom end plan, which I believe now costs 40 some bucks a month. I should have looked at that before I came here. They keep changing so many prices, it's hard to track all these. But the basic low end grandfathered, which is no longer offered, Live a Little plan is losing Nick Jr. but gaining Boomerang, which is the classic cartoon channel, which a lot of the Hanna-Barbera, you know, the Smurfs and the Jetsons and that kind of stuff is on it, and all kinds of other stuff. And they are also adding the Revolt channel. So I would say if you are a Live a Little customer and you want to keep Nick Jr., I do have good news for you though. It does have a way to keep it, and it's kind of a weird system. In the email they sent to Live a Little subscribers, it says if you would like to keep Nick Jr., chat with them and ask for it. It seems like what they're trying to do is clear out people who don't want Nick Jr. If you don't have kids that use Nick Jr., we're going to drop it. But if you have a kid that, or you want Nick Jr., if you ask their live chat, they will keep Nick Jr. on you. You have a month. So in May, this will be dropped. Not quite a full month. I believe it's on the 14th. Yeah, May 14th. You need to ask before then. I wouldn't wait, because I'm not sure if you wait until the 13th of May if they'll still honor the deal to keep Nick Jr. But it's kind of an interesting solution. I've never seen a live TV service do this where they say, hey, we're going to drop a channel, but if you want it, you have to ask for it or we're going to get rid of it. You know, it's kind of maybe a touch of a la carte there where, hey, if you want it, great. If you don't, tough luck. Problem is, the price is the same if you have Nick Jr. or not. From the looks of it, if you get Nick Jr., you still get to keep the new like Boomerang channel, which AT&T, I believe, now owns as part of their Turner lineup. What they're likely trying to do here is say, hey, well, we have this channel. It's costing us money. Probably not a lot of people are watching it, but people who are very dedicated to it. So let's see if we can drop it, not have to pay for it, for people who don't want it, and then people who do want it, we'll just allow them to opt into it. So kind of one of those realities that things cost money. When you add more channels, I know I talked a lot about this last week with Viacom and YouTube TV and others ones. When you add these channels that people are asking for to a service, they cost more money. So it seems like DIRECTV now is trying to balance it a little bit by saying, hey, if you don't want this channel, let us know and we'll drop it. If you want it, let us know, you can keep it. So it's a pretty cool deal. Let me know if you had any issues getting to keep it. I'd love to hear from you. But everybody I've talked to who's chatted and asked for it has received an email confirmation that confirms that they will be able to keep Nick Jr. All right, next story up. One of the biggest things that people tell me that they stay with cable for is sports. Well, really, most sports nowadays are very easy to keep with cord cutting. It's not 100%, but for the vast majority of Americans, 90-some%, you can get your sports a lot cheaper with cord cutting. So we updated our ultimate cord cutting guide for sports fans. Breaks down all the different services and all the different sports channels that are out there. The vast majority of sports channels are available. Even some AT&T sports nets, like here in Texas, are coming on live. Hopefully the rest. AT&T Sportsnet has been one of the last, we'll call it holdouts to cord cutting. They're one of the last streaming or channels not to come to a streaming service. That changed earlier this year when AT&T Sportsnet launched in Houston on Fubo TV. And hopefully that's a sign of more channels to come in the future and more services. I would love your help though. You know, this is kind of one of those living guides. You know, I'd updated in December, we updated now. A lot had changed since then. UFC became an ESPN Plus exclusive for pay-per-view. MLB at Bat came to Sling TV. DIRECTV Now dropped some sports networks. Others came here. You know, it's kind of one of those fun things. Almost by the week, sometimes these things are changing. So take a look at that chart. Even if you're not a big sports fan, I'd love your help. If you notice anything that you think we should have added or changed, send us an email. Let us know. We do take a look at that. We're always trying to update these. And I'll be honest, they're almost a cheat sheet for myself just to track all these services out there and try to keep them straight in our heads. So let me know if you find anything. I'll appreciate your help with that. Next up, as cord cutting grows, one more cable TV is going streaming. Company is going streaming only. So earlier this year, we learned that RTC was going to shut down their TV service. They're a small cable company. Now we hear that another small cable company called Pioneer Communications in Kansas, which has several different markets in Kansas. It's been around about 65 years according to their website. Well, they're going streaming only now. So they have a new service called Stream TV, which basically allows them to say, hey, all of our bandwidth is going to go for internet. You know, when internet and cable TV go down the same line, they partition it. So much bandwidth is for TV, so much bandwidth is for internet. They're just going to say all of it's going to be for internet now. If you want TV, you're going to get a streaming service. And it will work on, I believe it was Apple TV, Fire TVs, Androids, and other devices. Looking at the lineup, it's not that great. And one of the main issues with this service is the fact that you cannot stream all the channels outside your market. It says if you take your streaming device outside of their internet service, you'll have limited access to your recordings. And it can get very, very expensive when you look at the add-ons and the different features and the different streaming ones. So my recommendation to you is if you live in one of these markets, to shop around, look at YouTube TV, look at Hulu, look at Sling TV, and see, maybe this Stream TV service is the right one for you because it has the channels you want at the price point you want. But make sure you shop around and just don't buy this now that they're pretty much going to an internet-only service. What I find interesting about this is we're starting to see a slow tide of small cable companies basically saying, hey, cable TV is not worth it. I have to send somebody out to your home. I have to buy all this equipment, do all this work. I have to subdivide my signal between internet and TV when more and more people are just getting internet and on. Is this going to become a rolling ball downhill? This is kind of how these things start. You know, Sling TV came out, broke the mold of how TV worked. We saw PlayStation View, Hulu, YouTube, DirecTV Now, YouTube TV, and more and more and more come out in the future. Are we going to see the same thing happen as more and more cable companies move to the streaming, or maybe like RTC, where they just say, hey, internet only, you go get whatever TV service you want? Is that going to be a ball rolling downhill as more and more companies do the same, as it becomes cheaper and more effective? I'm very interested to see what happens there. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Do you know of another cable company that's doing this? The tough thing about some of these is they're so small, they don't really make a big press event about it. So I usually hear about them from you. Say, hey, my local cable company is ending TV service. I'd love to hear from you. You hear about CenturyLink pretty much abandoning Prisma TV. They're not rolling out to more areas. They tried a live TV service. That didn't go well for them. They're basically just now recommending you go get a live TV streaming service in areas where they don't offer Prisma TV. So it's very easy to see in 10 years from now that maybe a majority of the small cable companies won't be offering TV. And at that point, that pretty much legitimizes cord cutting as the future of the streaming, you know, where they're just going to become dumb pipes and not care so much about the TV aspect of it. Now, the bigger ones like the Comcast and the Spectrum probably will be one of the last to do this because they're very invested, they have a much bigger footprint, and in Comcast's case, they are tied to NBC Universal. So they may have an additional interest to keep pushing that for a longer amount of time. So it'll be interesting to see though, but this is a sign of things to change. I've said this many times before, but we're in the early days of cord cutting. We're not going to really know what this looks like for a couple more years. Maybe 5 years from now, cord cutting as we know it will be very, very different. Maybe the a la carte will find breakthrough. Maybe T-Mobile will come and disrupt everything as they say they will. Maybe the growth of 5G wireless internet, which just launched in New York. Starry is now offering 5G wireless internet in New York for $50 a month with no data cap. If they keep eating into the internet profits that we keep eating into the TV side, we could really talk about a very different market where cable companies don't have the power they once did to dictate things like they do now. So, I don't know, fingers crossed, we got a long ways to go before we get there, but every day, thousands of people are canceling cable TV. Thousands of people are moving to other internet sources. There's a growing trend of people saying, hey, my cell phone is all the internet I need. If that continues, that could be even more devastating than cord cutting is to companies like Comcast and Spectrum. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you hear about any other cable companies like this dropping their TV. I'd love to try to keep a tally of these as they happen. Well, I hope you have a fantastic tax day here in the United States. I hope you have a great week. I hope everybody stays safe and dry out there. It was kind of a cold, wet, rainy weekend here. But we will see you tomorrow with more cord cutting news, tips, tricks, and how-to guides. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you tomorrow.